Welcome to the Mind Basketball Podcast, also known as M.O.B Podcast. I am Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And this is our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from the previous games from the previous day. How are you this Saturday morning, Ja?
Chilling, regular, chilling. My day off, so I got some time to just kick my feet up and just relax.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah. It does feel good.
Well, I am happy for you. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone will have a good day. As you can see, early upload because of the games that's happening earlier in the afternoon, earlier than usual. So we're in the morning time, right before the afternoon, or well, depending on if you're watching this, when we release it, right before the afternoon. So it's gonna be a little more chill vibe for this episode. But it wasn't chill last night. It wasn't chill for last night's games. A lot of interesting action, a lot of games happened, a lot of things, a lot of craziness. So I guess let's first start off with the first craziest thing that happened last night. Starting off with the team behind me, the Brooklyn Nets up against the Toronto Raptors, and this game was just wild. Starting off with first, Kevin Durant, for the first time in his career, came off the bench. He didn't start because of COVID protocol, and they had to make sure he was good and make sure he was safe for the game. So because of that, he didn't start the game. Then he was cleared, came into the game. Come find out in the second half, right in the second half.
Yeah, second half. Yeah.
In the second half, something else had happened, and they called him over, and due to COVID protocols, he had to be out for the rest of the game and not play. Just a wild sequence. So apparently, the story was he got tested twice in the day. Both came back negative, but the person that he came in contact with
tested positive. Yeah.
Yes, but before he tested positive, there was an inconclusive test. That's why he didn't come in. That's why he didn't start the game.
Okay. Yeah.
But they should have just left him out if it was inconclusive. But they didn't. He was allowed to play, came back in, and then that test came back positive. That's why in the second half, they had to pull him away.
Yeah, you should be more wiser with that. If it's inconclusive, then you should not have him around just because of precaution and dangers of the other players around him.
Yeah, so because of that, he did not play for the second half, most of the second half. So I guess I should just do this. I guess. Well, you can't really see me. So I'll go back. But as for the game itself, that was just one crazy story. Now for the actual other crazy story, the Raptors were playing well.
Yeah.
Playing really well. Got out to an early lead, a double-digit lead against this Nets team, kind of like they kind of play like how the Raptors were last year. Good.
Yeah. Well,
a playoff caliber team with the head coach of the year.
Well, because they used to that cold weather, being down in the state of Florida. Of course, they're not used to that, that hot, sunny, good weather. They used to weather like this in New York City because they had that all the time in Canada.
Yeah, they had to adjust to that. I guess that's why they're bad start to the season. But we'll get to that. How they've been playing as of late. We'll get to that later on. But for this game, got to an early start. Had to force a lot of turnovers. Got a lot of transition buckets. Made a lot of shots. Siakam had it going throughout the entire game. Spicy P for today. Spicy P. And they was just really balling up until, of course, that firepower the Nets have and that offense they had. So, it was inevitable for them to just come back into the game, which they did. Came back to the game, made competitive. Of course, Kevin Durant, like we said, didn't play in the second half. So after the second half hits, back and forth we go. Fourth quarter, this was really the story of the fourth quarter. So, there's no KD. So now it's James Harden and Kyrie's time to take over. Yeah. And because of the Raptors' defense and how they was playing Harden was forced to pass it and keep passing it and pass it to the open man. And actually, it was pretty working a lot. Joe Harris had a great game. I mean, like I said earlier, when they first got this trade done, he has like the easiest job playing with
Yeah.
those players. I mean, he can just be wide open almost all the time.
Yeah. Flat out get his shot. Yeah.
Yeah, but and everybody else, all the other secondary players is playing well too. But like I said, James Harden, he didn't take a lot of shots. And for some reason, neither did Kyrie. In that fourth quarter, up until like the final 10 seconds where the game was basically over,
Yeah.
Kyrie didn't shoot once.
Yeah.
That was very surprising coming from Kyrie Irving, one of the most clutchest players in the league, never afraid to take the shot when he needs to, aggressive at all times. I
Very
don't
well.
know why he, was kind of reluctant, kind of passive in this fourth quarter. It was very confusing to me. But nonetheless, the Raptors weren't reluctant. Kyle Lowry, big time in that fourth quarter, really big time. Made the extra passes, made the play when he needed to, made the shots when he needed to, and as a result, surprisingly, the Toronto Raptors were able to beat this Brooklyn Nets team.
Yeah. Well, we always talked about it. Like, you know what I mean? There's two things that that one thing that we know about the Nets for sure is that, like, you know, again, ever since they traded away their pieces, they're not that good defensively, especially on the perimeter.
Oh yeah,
Since so, like, you know, that's help, and their interior defense needs some more help because it can't always be DeAndre Jordan now. He's not no Jared Allen. So we said the only way that you could possibly beat this Nets team, if you had the opportunity, is two things: keeping up with them offensively because you can't contain the three-headed monster, or, like, you know, or like being strong defensively as a team. And as a
yes,
result, you saw that multiple times. So, like with the Heat team, don't forget with the Heat team, they nearly came close to getting a win on them because of the fact of their defense and along with the fact that they kept up with scoring. That's the same thing that this Raptors team did. They did it defensively. They had a lot of deflections in that first half, especially that first quarter, in which it led to transition points, and they was getting to the rim all the time, attacking them. Because again, they got no interior defense. Um, believe correct me if I'm wrong, but Fred VanVleet was getting to the paint a lot. That's what I remember seeing in that first half. He was getting to the paint a lot,
yeah.
and as a result, that's how the Raptors offense worked: transition, and then it spread it out from inside to outside. Just like what you said, Smile P, has he been of since the beginning of the season? Looked like Spicy P. He looked
Okay.
like Spicy P for tonight. Like, you know, 33 on the game, had 15, I believe, in the third quarter.
Yes, I believe so. I believe so.
Yeah, he was balling out, but I felt like it. But and so, like, you know, he had a really good game. But outside of that, this Raptors team did great against this Nets team, and I felt like it was a little bit of playing hard, but also luck with the whole KD situation and stuff like that.
But it was surprising me, even with KD in the game, when he was in the game, they still had
Yeah,
the lead and they were still competing with them.
yeah,
So I was really impressed with how these Raptors team play. Impressed by Lowry and Siakam, the two best players on this team, playing well against this Nets team, which they
yeah.
needed to be.
One
You
more
got
thing.
something to say?
Yeah, yeah. And one more thing. It's very unusual for Kyrie to be like that in that situation.
Yeah, very
It's kind
unusual.
of shocking because, like, you know, for a dude who's offensively gifted, especially in the one-on-one aspect of the game, in which everything is about getting the bucket, and seeing the stretch he has had as of recently since coming back from that hiatus, and how he's been dominant in the fourth quarter, is kind of surprising that he kind of took a step back. And I don't wouldn't expect him to do that again ever. So just want to say that.
Yeah, I'm not expecting that either. I expect a more usual Kyrie in the fourth quarter in the next scene. But as of last night, he wasn't aggressive, and the Nets weren't able to stop Lowry and Siakam and this Raptors team, and it resulted in the Raptors winning their third straight, and as a result, and due to the other losses by other teams in the East Conference, the Raptors, for the first time this season, are currently in the playoff spot. Wow. Just wow. What a turnaround for the Raptors. I'm glad, actually.
Yeah,
We've been criticizing them a lot this season, but I'm glad they've been kind of getting their mojo back. A lot of adjustments to just thinking about playing in Toronto. Then out of nowhere, going down, saying no, you're gonna play in Florida. Basically, and I believe Doris Burke said it when she interviewed Nick Nurse. It's like, oh, this is 72 games is a road game.
Yeah, yeah. 72 games is a road game for them, just them because
Yeah,
they can be in their home turf. So
and I never even really thought about that. So,
yeah,
but now I see that they're now kind of getting into that rhythm, We'll see how they go. But good win by the Raptors, and like I said, they've been playing well as of late, and are finally in
yeah,
a playoff spot.
yes.
Well, all right, that was a good game. Let's talk about another good game. The Celtics and the Clippers, which was the last game of the night. Jaylen Brown did not play, and Paul George didn't play. So you could say that, hey, it was basically, even for a little bit
Yeah.
in terms of that.
Yeah.
This was a what?
I'm not going to finish. I'll say right when you're done. Sorry.
Okay. This was a really competitive game, as you expect from two of the best teams in the league. The Clippers got out to an early lead, however, and it was really moving the ball around, hitting their shots, stopping the Celtics. And then the Celtics made a run to get back into the lead in the third quarter. And they made a run to hit a double-digit lead towards the end of the third quarter. And then in that fourth quarter, it was the Clippers' turn to make that same run the Celtics did in the first half to get back to the game. Clippers, how they got back into the game was basically playing through Kawhi. Playing through Kawhi, moving the ball around like they've been doing the entire season, getting defensive stops, hitting open looks. And next thing you know, this was a close crunch time game. Now getting to the gritty final few minutes. A lot of action in that final few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we should break it down. Clippers were up by 1. Looked like Celtics turned the ball over.
Yeah.
Batum passed it to Kawhi. Kawhi was then sandwiched in between Tatum and I believe Walker.
Yeah, Walker.
Tatum stole the ball from actually I'm a rewind. Yeah, go back.
Rewind it back. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
rewind it back. Before that even happened, Kawhi,
Got stripped.
yes, got stripped by Tatum.
Yeah.
When they were up by 1 or down by 1.
They were down by, I think they were down by 1 or 2. It was one
They
of
were
those.
down. They were down, and you pull up the footage. Pull up the footage, so they know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
They were down, and Kawhi looked like trying to get in this spot, and Tatum surprisingly stripped the ball from him.
Yeah. I don't think that he stripped him. I think he more like
poked the ball away. And then they got the possession back. Now let's go back to what I was talking about. Then Tatum got the ball back after the steal from Kawhi, or no, from Batum.
Yeah.
Stole it from Kawhi, gave it to Kemba. Once I knew Kemba got the ball, I knew he was gonna do his move and he was gonna go in. I could just tell the way he was moving. Kemba, he gets to a spot, gets to that little mid range near the free throw line, step back, cardiac Kemba. We've seen him do it 1,000 times. That time when he missed against the Lakers, didn't miss this time. Made it on Serge Ibaka. They take the lead. Kawhi comes down court, misses his shot.
Yeah.
So Celtics get fouled. Misses a 3 to tie the game, and Celtics hitting their free throws from Tristan Thompson, who's not a good free throw shooter.
At all. Yeah.
Grant Williams, who's not a good free throw shooter, and Kemba Walker, who is a good free throw shooter.
Yeah.
All made their free throws and essentially closed out this game, and the Celtics were able to win this close game.
Well, yeah, in my opinion, as an entertainer of a game it was, I don't count this as a game because, like, I feel like both teams need to have all their players all together and healthy in order for me to count, because this is a possible showdown. Again, even though it's not likely compared to other teams, this is a chance that we might see these two teams in the finals at some point, possibly. But outside of that, yeah, Clippers had a.
I'm not gonna say anything. I am not going to say anything.
I know the team that you're hinting at. Just chill. Just go.
I'm gonna let you cook.
But yeah, the Clippers had an early lead, getting their shots, hitting their shots big time, creating space, passing, and everything. They had a good flow, and then the second half hit, and then the Celtics went on their dominant run. As Kemba got more into the flow of the game, getting his shots, getting his buckets. Tatum had a good game going on the whole time. The duel between Kawhi and Tatum was just amazing. This is a battle of the young gun versus the established superstar. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this was a really good matchup just from a pure bucket getting standpoint, creating shots and everything. So it was a great duel between both of them. It was fun to watch. Um, and then you talk about the sequence. Kawhi missed the two where he got he didn't even take the two because he got the ball poked from Tatum.
His eye or the ball?
The ball. The ball. And and also he had opportunity to tie up the game, I believe, or take the lead. I don't remember, but he then also missed a three. And as a result, the Clippers, even though they got good shots, they just couldn't make them. They just couldn't make them going down. And as a result, the Celtics was able to take advantage, and just like with everything you said, the events that led up to that, the Celtics were able to make their free throws, and the game was up from there.
Yep. I guess that's all that needs to be said about that game.
Yeah,
Really entertaining game. It was really fun to watch, as you said. Tatum and Brown. Tatum and Kawhi going at it, and I'm glad that Kemba is getting into that rhythm again, getting into his groove. He really stepped up with Jaylen Brown being out there, and they needed him to step up.
yeah.
And as a result, he was able to win this game.
And also, one more thing, we got to give credit to Lou Will. I think he had 14 in the fourth quarter.
Yes, and he kind of been absent throughout the entire
Yeah,
season, it seems. But yeah, in that fourth quarter, he was big time for them. So he had a big three in the corner.
yep. Big three in the corner. Yeah,
Yeah, to tie the game, I believe, right?
yeah. It was to tie the game. It was
And
to
that was a
tie.
great pass by Kawhi. Pull up
Yeah.
footage. That was a great pass by Kawhi. That was LeBron-esque. But yeah, good win by the Celtics despite their injuries and them not having their stars. Kemba getting into his rhythm. I like to see more of that.
Yeah.
Well, all right. A slew of interesting games that happen around the league. So I'll go to you. What you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the Pacers versus Pelicans first. I said that. Wait. Yeah, Pacers versus
Ace versus Pelicans. Yeah.
I thought I made a mistake for a second. This was a good. This was in the first quarter. It was a good battle between the two teams, just an exchange of buckets and everything. And then as it went on from the second quarter onto the third quarter, it looked like it was the Pelicans game. They went on a big run, and it looked like they weren't going to give up this lead at all. But here's the thing about this team. Just like what we talk about with the Alice Mavericks, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're
Oh
they
man.
they at times have an inability to close out games. They go on big stretches, they go on big runs, they go on big leads, and then all of a sudden they give the opposing team the opportunity to come back and likely win. And I've been seeing that as a common theme between those two teams. And this show tonight, I see Justin Holiday just make like 3 straight threes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Indiana just had it going from there on out in terms of shooting the three and getting buckets.
I thought that was Drew.
For real, I thought that was Drew Holiday. I was like, wait, hold on. Is this Drew or is this Justin? But all of a sudden, he hits 3 straight threes, and then TJ McConnell hits a three, Miles Turner hitting threes. I don't know. There's another dude. I think international player, like a European dude. He started hitting threes. I don't remember his name. No disrespect. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm just gonna say your identity.
I know you're talking about. It's hard to say his name.
Yep. And then Jeremy Lin hits a three. It was just a barrage of threes. And as a result, the Pacers were able to get back into the game, and they looked like they had an opportunity to even take the game.
Mm-hmm.
But then I believe Miles Turner missed the game-winning opportunity and
can't score over LaMelo Ball. I mean, Lonzo Ball.
Yeah. Yeah. So he can't score over Lonzo nor Steven Adams, and but so good job by the Pelicans by not ruining this game, because this is the game that they should have been took over a long time ago, but yet they made their defense just give up. And good fight by the Pacers too. Amazing fourth quarter run.
Miles Turner should hit that shot, but I mean, late made that layup.
Yeah.
But what else? Not the first time I've been disappointed by Miles Turner's play.
Just leave him alone for now, man.
Fine, I will. Yeah, good one by the Pelicans, as you stated. Anything else you want to go over?
Oh yeah. Also the Bulls versus the Magic. Man, Vucevic had it going.
Yes, he did. Almost 40 and 20. Almost a 40-20 game.
He had it going. Nobody in that front line for the Bulls could stop him. And well, let's be honest, the Bulls are not even that good of a team. Did Markkinen play? Wait, am I bugging or did Markkinen play?
Yes, he did. He did. What are you talking about?
So yeah, he got fried. Let's just say that he got smoked by Vucevic. And they just had it going. Like that whole Magic team was just riding off of Vucevic. He had it going. Cole Anthony had a good game. All of these guys, they were just balling out. You know what I mean? And then get into the second half, and then the Bulls start giving their opportunities to make a good run, especially within that fourth quarter. And I say that's all highlighted by the fact that Zach LaVine started to be more aggressive, start to assert himself. And as a result, the Bulls, from what they were doing early in terms of hitting their shots from deep and trying to find ways to get into the paint, they were able to feed off of that and go through. But yet the Magic just kept continuing to do what they do and make their shots. And even though it became a closer game down in the stretch, the Magic were able to close it out.
Yeah, that was a good one by the Magic. Vucevic just
Yeah,
dominating. 43 and 19. I mean, that's pure dominance. From a
yeah.
big man, that's pure dominance. Shaq clapping his hands right now. So yeah, a good win by this Magic team, even though the Bulls play no defense whatsoever.
and good job by the rookie from the Bulls too, Patrick Williams. He had a really good game.
All right. It's my turn now. So I'll talk about the Jazz and the Hornets game and see the box score. It seemed like a blowout. It shows that it's a blowout, but this was a really entertaining game.
Yeah, it was.
Um, LaMelo Ball with his career high 34 in the game. He had it cooking. He really did have it cooking. He was hitting all his shots, getting to his spots.
Box
He
office.
looked, huh?
Box office. I said box office. Like he's a box office hit.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, he could be a box office hit. But actually, no, he is. He is. Everybody already talking about him already. So, but yeah, he looked so in rhythm. Step back threes. I mean, we all know he's a really good passer, but his ability to make plays is he's past his age.
Yeah.
The way he can make plays,
Mhm.
that's an incredible skill that he sometimes you can't really teach with players.
Yeah.
Um, what you said?
Because he just has that natural feel to the game off of just pure instinct. That's one thing you could tell about his game. He just has a natural feel in which, is either that if he's not getting his own shot, he can most definitely set up people or see the play before it even happens, as I could say. Put it
Yeah,
like,
no, he's really good at that. Gordon Hayward also had a good game. He had 25 and 10. He was balling, but they're just not a better team than the Jazz, and that's what it really comes down to. The Jazz, Donovan Mitchell, 30, one of the best players in the league, one of the best rising superstars in this league. Um, Bogdanovich, they could not stop him from deep.
yeah,
I mean, jeez, he
he's a
was shooting the lights out.
he's a professional scorer and a great shooter. So I'm not surprised by this, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, but when it comes down to, like I said, Hornets just not a better team than the Jazz, and the Jazz, as you see, are the best team in the league record wise, and they just proved it. Just
Yeah,
couldn't stop them offensively. Um, Good stops when they needed to, and that's what
yeah.
that's really what it all comes down to. The other game that I want to talk about was surprisingly the Timberwolves and the Thunder game. Um, SGA did not play, so you might actually asking why are you talking about this game? Well, SGA didn't play, but D'Lo did. D'Angelo Russell did, and ice water in his veins. This was a good game, and when it came down to it, closing seconds, tie game, D'Angelo Russell, as we've seen him do many times in his young career,
Yeah.
three ball with 3 seconds left, hit it. You know, you already know, ice water in his veins.
Yep.
That was the game winner, and they was able to win this game. Surprisingly, they got to win. Another win. So yeah, I just wanted to briefly go over that because that was a pretty interesting game. I was surprised how competitive that was between those teams. But they both have a lot of good young talent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right. News, by the way, before we go into predictions, Christian Wood did only have an ankle sprain. This is just a little update. He did have an ankle sprain. So that'll be good. He's only gonna be out for probably a few games. So nothing serious. Nothing major. Because he's a bright young star and he's been having a great season. So hopefully we'll hope to see him back on the floor very soon.
Yeah.
All right. Now it is time for predictions. Our predictions for tonight's set of games, and of course the few hour in like 2 hour game, or like an hour and a half game. Yeah. So first let's start off with the 1:00 game, which is why we uploaded this at 11. The Blazers and the Knicks. Who you got?
I'm gonna go on limb and say the Knicks.
I'm going on that limb with you. The Knicks. The first primetime game that we'll be discussing features the Denver Nuggets up against the Sacramento Kings.
Nuggets.
The Bulls or the Magic?
Bulls.
Magic. The Nets or the 76ers?
Sixers.
We gotta see the update on Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
The Raptors or the Hawks?
Hawks. Yeah.
I got the Raptors. Watch them, they're gonna crush me. Bucks or the Cavs, coming off of the dominant win by the Bucks last night against the Cavs. Bucks as well. The Spurs or the Rockets?
Rockets.
Spurs. The Timberwolves or the Thunder? Just talking about this game from last night.
I think the Timberwolves got more momentum, so I'm going to go with the Timberwolves.
I got Thunder. The second primetime game featured on ABC, the bigger primetime game, is the Warriors and the Mavs. Of course, this was the game from Thursday in which Kelly Oubre dropped his career high.
Warriors.
And dominant.
So I know you didn't finish, but let's just be honest. Let's just get this out the way.
Oh, well, okay. The Warriors. The Grizzlies or the Pelicans?
Pals.
Grizzlies. Wow. Both of our surprise teams. And lastly, the Pistons up against the defending champions Lakers, trying to avenge that loss they had against the Pistons earlier in the season.
Hopefully it could be 1988. Hopefully it could be 1988 again, and the Lakers win. So yeah, go.
I got the Lakers. Yeah. All right, I think it's time to wrap things up. Any final thoughts, John?
No.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the All-Star game is on. Forgot to mention that. The All-Star game is currently on to happen March 7th in Atlanta. Not everybody's excited for that, LeBron, but it seems like it's going to happen. So, as a fan of the game, I'm happy for it. Yeah. But I don't understand the players' perspective. No fans. The excitement level isn't there as it usually is.
Yeah.
And also, players, especially, the Lakers coming off of winning the championship 72 days later.
Yeah.
Start of the season. And of course, they're not getting a break. So
they want that break. Well, the NBA better accommodate something.
Yeah. It is a players' league.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this is a little update of the All-Star game. Nothing else you want to go over?
No.
What? All right. Wait. Oh, no. I'm bugging. All right. Thank you guys for watching today's pod. Make sure you tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Also follow our IG page down in the description below.
And once again, I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this It's Mind the Basketball Podcast. Super Bowl tomorrow.